All right, I think we're live. Hello, 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 family. How's everybody doing? I just created this live. So I can't believe that. I actually tried to create it last night and didn't press create. So went in today and looked and I thought, oh my God, I didn't finish creating it last night. So I guess you guys will catch me later, which is fine. I don't care if you can do live with me, good. If you can't, it doesn't matter as long as you press the like button and share the show. And I need to get those likes up, you guys. I don't understand. I have maybe 100 people looking at my videos and only 6 likes. Is that all that we can do? And no shares. But is that all we can do? Is what about people joining? I know I have new people coming on here. Are you hitting the bell so that you'll be so you'll know when I'm coming live? Okay. Are you liking the videos? I only see 9 likes. So does that mean you like the videos or you don't like the videos? We have to learn how to communicate here. How's everybody doing? I want you guys to like and share as you come in. And I want you guys to share because I think that the message is clear. I think we are here for educational purposes. I am not here to entertain. I am here to bring awareness to what's going on in our community. Okay. I've been looking at the trial with Ahmaud Arbery, and I'm telling you, they are trying everything that they can. And I've seen the attorney today was talking about, well, the tire marks and, he wasn't trying to run over Ahmaud Arbery. You know what? That doesn't even matter. My thing matters is that you were driving the truck when your son jumped out of the truck with a shotgun in his hand and gunned this young man down. I don't care if you try to run him over. I don't care anything about any of that. And the guy that you called Mike, his best friend that was riding along, even the attorney had something to say about that situation. And his attorney is trying to get them to drop those charges against the third guy, who took the video. My thing is, you guys acted as a group. And I know when you charge Black folk, you charge everybody that's in the group. You don't just say, oh, because you were there, but you didn't do anything, so we're not going to charge you. No, everybody that's being charged, everybody that's in the group should get charged. Whether you had the shotgun in your hand, you were driving the truck, you're guilty. If you was behind the car or behind the truck and you were taking the video and you didn't stop it, you're guilty. Guilty is charged. So no, nobody in Ahmaud Arbery case should be getting away. And that is a case that I think that we should be paying more attention to because that is our brother. We're paying more attention to Kyle Rittenhouse. Who gives a crap about a little white boy that they're going to allow to walk anyway, which I don't care because he didn't kill no Black people. He killed more white folk. He killed he shot 3 white folk, okay? But 2 died. I don't care. Let him out so he can kill more of his own. That's how I feel about it. Plain and simple. My thing is, I am paying more attention to Ahmaud Arbery's case because that's where our attention should lie. I don't know why it is we feel so, we got to support or kind of support this white boy who gonna get off. We already know. So y'all just get your mindset ready because everything this judge is showing you, I'm going to release him. And who cares? Because my thing is, you can't do dirt and get away with it. Either that boy's the one that hit Kyle, either the family of those boys that he shot is going to take care of him or karma's going to get him. Either way, he's going to get got. It could be years down the line or his family because guess what? You can't do dirt. And we all know that you can't do dirt and get away with it, right? So why do we care? Welcome, Roberto. Welcome. He intended, yes, he did. But guess what? He didn't. He killed white folk, right? I don't care. My thing is, you guys better be ready when they come because I'm going to show you some stories that they just found a 72-year-old Black woman hanging. 72 years old. I'm going to tell you what. If you don't take your candy bars with you right now and you're Black, you're an idiot. If you still walking around here by yourself and you know that they have not passed that no lynching law yet, and it's 2021, right? This is a law that's been on the books since forever, and they're not passing it for a reason. But I'm going to tell you what, don't pass it. I got mine. I'm just saying, You should not be walking around without your candy bars. And y'all know what I mean. I'm just saying, if you're walking around, you by yourself and it's late at night and you walking knowing that they are looking for soft targets. And when you are walking by yourself at night and you don't have no backup, and I'm going to tell you who I think is doing it. Police officers are doing it. You're not going to tell me because you're not going to put up a fight. And who did it back in the day when they was lynching black boys? Who was doing it back in the day? The police officers. Remember those three Mississippi boys? That it was two black boys and one white boy. And the white boy got hung. He died with them because why? Because he was with them. He was out of order. A lot of them freedom fighters died who were white, died. Just like the woman that was driving black folk to work because they didn't want to catch the bus when they was boycotting the buses, right? They shot her in the face. She was a white woman, and they shot her because she was off code. You have to understand, y'all, okay? They stay on code, and when you don't get on code or you don't stay on code, they kill you. But we have to get it in our heads that we better get on code too. We have to be on code. It's time for us to learn how to be on code. 400 years, I think, people say, well, black folk ain't on code. Black folk don't know how to stick together. Guess what? We're the only group of people that have been under white supremacy's thumb since, 400 or 500 years. How do you think the Spanish would be? How do you think the Asians would be if they were under the thumb of white supremacy for 400, 500 years? You will still see the same result. Okay, and we're still under their thumb. And it's not, I can't even blame them right now because we see what needs to be done and we don't do it. So that's our fault. So stuff that's happening to us right now, and we could possibly stop it from happening, then you need to do your part, okay? Stop being so afraid of everything. I'd rather Trayvon to have been had some backup with him, then he would have been able to fight the courts. I'm not going to say that he would have got off like Kyle Rittenhouse is, okay? Because I believe the laws are made up for us and not for them. So the judge can do exactly what he's doing, white supremacy, he's doing his thing in court because he's a judge and I can't. And nobody's going to challenge him. But I think he should lose his license because there's some stuff that the judge is doing that's not practical. But we're not understanding that. I'm hearing different YouTubers and they're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse and, laws are being broken down. But you fail to realize if that was a black boy, everything that would have been created by that prosecutor would have stood. They wouldn't have never went in the law book to say, well, because he was underage, we're going to throw this out and we're going to throw this out. That judge is doing everything to free that young man. That judge is doing everything to free the murderer. Okay. And we know that. Isaac, welcome. Like and share as you come in, you guys. Like and share. So we have to understand what's going on. But the case that we should really be paying attention to is Ahmaud Arbery. That's our brother right there. We're showing more support by you giving Kyle Rittenhouse attention. It's almost like you're showing him support. No, we should be looking at the Arbery case. That's our brother that died there and shot down like a dog. And I'm telling you, the prosecutor is trying to do everything that they can to get these three murders off. This stuff is, they doing stuff. And then you had heard one prosecutor said, hey, we don't want any more black pastors. Dude, what are you talking about? Anybody who want to come up in that damn courtroom can come in there. And you shouldn't have nothing to say about it. Tell me they're influencing the jury. I'm so sick of this out and out racism. I don't know what to do. And that's out and out. Okay. The white family, Travis and them, they can have anybody they want to. But you're going to say, oh, you can't have no more black pastors coming up in here. Who the hell you think you are? You don't have a right to tell me who can come in the courtroom. Everybody's welcome, one, right? So how do you know that there's not any pastors on Arbery's side? The white side. We have to understand and see what's going on here. But we don't pay attention to anything. We're so busy doing us and we're so individualized that it's sad that we have to watch and we have to fight for us. We're not fighting for us. We have girls. How many girls are missing and children, women and children are missing right now? 6,000? Where's the uproar? I don't hear anybody. I don't hear anybody having anything to say about that. I don't hear, you know what I'm problem with my internet. You know what, you guys? I have no problem with my internet until I come on. This is crazy. I don't have any problems with my internet, but all of a sudden today, the internet goes out, or it's out. It's not out. It's just like blinking. But my thing is, you know what, boy? I tell you. Oh Lord, I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just keep on speaking. So if it does that again, just know that I'm coming back as soon as I fix it. Thank you for being patient, you guys. But this is, sometimes I get so emotional, I know, but maybe that was what I needed to bring me back down. Okay. I want to read something to you. You know what? I seen something with Martin Luther King, but I want to read something first. I really want to, I don't know how many people know this, but I want to read this story to you about the 72-year-old woman. Okay. And she was found hung. I don't know if a 72-year-old woman has strength to hang herself. I'm scratching I'm shaking my braids because I don't understand that. But let's talk about that. She was found in Annapolis, Maryland. Okay. And it says Annapolis, Maryland police department said the preliminary investigation reveals the incident. Listen to this. Listen to this because they are all on code. The incident does not appear to be criminal in nature. I'm going to let you think about that one for a minute. Let's think about that. That's what I'm reading it. This is what it said. It said Annapolis Police Department said the preliminary investigation, which is preliminaries, that means before we investigate, we already going to tell you that it does not reveal the incident does not appear to be criminal in nature. Is it ever criminal when it comes to us? Is it ever a hate crime when it comes to us? How many people, just like when Ahmaud Arbery, the guy, Travis, when he shot Ahmaud Arbery, and he said, he called him a nigger, right? Did he get charged with a hate crime? It's never a hate crime, and it's never murder. It's never homicide. Excuse me, I've still got a little cough, you guys. I'm sorry. It's never a homicide when it comes to us, is it? It's never a hate crime. Why? But they can say what they want to say. Just like the one shooter at the store that he shot two people that was it at the Kroger's? But he at first went to the daycare and then he went to the grocery store and shot like the black lady and the black lady and an older man. And the older man has 12-year-old grandson with him. But the grandson said that he called him the N-word niggas, right? But it's never a hate crime. Isaac, you know what? I'm so sick of them, I don't know what to do. I can't, you know what? But I heard what Biden said. He said in the year 2040, America's going to be in trouble. You know what else he said? He said, not just because of African Americans. This is what he said. It came every time Joe Biden opened his damn mouth. I'm sick of him too. I can't stand him. I'm sick of him. Every time Joe Biden opens his mouth, it's something racial that comes out. And he's been doing it for so long, he don't even know that it's racial. He don't even know. He's been racist for so long. And black folk, I hope and pray that this slap, because you got another slap, because you know that infrastructure bill, he just gave Indians $13 more billion plus grants. I'm just saying. I hope that black folk face is being slapped so hard right now that the taste for the Democrats will be slapped out of your mouth. And not just for the Democrats, the Republicans too. I think Black folk need to start voting independently. And I think we need to start running for the independent office if we're going to run. But we have to be careful who, just because somebody look Black, like the mayor in New York, he looks Black, right? But that dude ain't for Black folk. That dude is not for Black people at all. Okay, but we still keep voting for Black people that don't have your best interest. Just like I see Al Sharpton, he was at the trial of Ahmaud Arbery, right? Because the parents invited him. And he was upset because the attorney said no more Black pastors. But guess what? Al Sharpton won't talk about reparations. He won't bring up Black issues, but he'll go to, now he want to stand out front because he knows now they going to start dangling some carrots to Black folk because they done a whole lot of dirt and have not written a check for Black people. So the Democratic Party is in trouble and Al Sharpton knows it. So they didn't send a coon dog out there to speak. Okay, at the outreach, because it's a lot of attention. And Al Sharpton loves attention. So he's out there to dangle some carrots to help with to help get the Black Democrats, Black folk back on the same page, right? But guess what? It's not going to work because I hope and pray that Biden keeps slapping the hell out of Black folk to wake them up. Because that seems like who's going to work. It's going to take somebody like Biden to keep slapping you until you wake up eventually. Because I'm going to tell you what, I hope he slap you so hard and I hope he keep on slapping because we have to wake up, family. It's time for us to wake up out of our slumber. We have been so used to stuff happening that when stuff that we're supposed to fight for, we don't. It wasn't so long ago, our ancestors in 63, they was fighting, they was kicking the police behind, right? When police would come up to them, they wouldn't start nothing. Now, I'm not condoning violence at all, but I am condoning us to be able to protect yourself, right? But we won't even do that. Police come in your neighborhood and you get already inside. Hold on. Back in the day, Black folk was packing. Police would come in their neighborhood with some meth. They said, "Oh, hold on now. You're not finna." Nope. You can come in here, but you ain't finna start no mess because we got this, right? We don't do that. But why we don't do that? Because guess what? In some of these neighborhoods that they come into, they didn't got us so brainwashed that we are so afraid to fight for our freedom. If we don't fight for something, we'll never be free. If you're just willing to die just to be dying, but you don't want to die for freedom so that our children won't have to walk in these shoes that we're walking in now. Because I'm going to tell you what, I would not have a son in America right now. I would never want my son to walk, or my daughter, to walk in the shoes that I'm walking in today. I would never want my child, and I don't ever want our children. And I'm afraid that that's what's happening. We're passing down some bad mindsets to our babies. They're seeing the parents be so docile that we're passing it down to the children. That's Willie Lynch syndrome. And it's not getting any better for us. Next year is going to be, and we only have one more month, and we'll be in 2022, right? That year, 2022, is going to be one of the darkest years for Black people. Mark my words. Put this date down. And I said it. It is going to be the darkest year that we've ever seen. And a whole lot of Black folk gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I say it because when we see things happening, we don't prepare. We're so colonized that we think that somebody's coming to save us. I was talking to a friend of mine who's really deep in the church, and it's really sad because she hurts my heart. Every time I talk to her, it just hurts my heart. And I talked to her the other day, and I have generators. I was going to give her one. And I said, "Sis," I said, "You ready? You got your generator, you got your food, you've been storing up water, you've been storing up canned goods." And "No, girl, God got me, honey." That's the answer she gave me. And I looked at her and I want to cry for her because You're not reading your Bible if you say that for one. For one, even in the Bible, Joseph, let's go back to the story of Joseph. He got Joseph prepared. He said, you're going to have 7 years of what? Abundance. And you're going to take that food. You're going to have so much of it. You're going to take it and store it up for the 7 years of devastation that you're going to get. That's what he told him. So the 7 years that he had abundance, Joseph stored up for the 7 years. He told him he stored it up for the 7 years that it was going to be a drought. So he was ready. He did the work, right? Black folk won't even do the work. I love my people, but I get so mad because I see stuff that we can do, but we won't do. You can buy your generators now. They're $100. I do affiliate marketing. I'll put it in the comments, but people won't do it. You can buy your My Patriot. You can make payments. You don't even have to spend whatever it is. I don't even think I spent a lot of money for it, but I made payments. Make payments. You know, I'm like, if I can make payments on something, I make payments. It's like a layaway for me. I don't charge. Yes, it is, Isaac. I'm going to tell you it's going to be dark. But even with My Patriot, I've done? I have, like I showed you, I have 3 tubs, okay? And I'm not even done. I'm constantly putting food away, constantly. Toilet paper, paper towel, food, water, constantly. But when my sister told me God got me, I may not see her in year 2023 because God got her. And literally, he will have her. That's what's so disturbing. Because we don't prepare for anything. We just sit here and we see stuff. I'm looking at the shelves. I'm seeing the inflation. Is anybody else seeing what I'm seeing, or am I the only one? Am I the only one crying on the mountaintop? Hey, y'all, get ready. Black folk, get ready. Here's the number. Get your Patriot. Here's your generators. Get your generators. I have stuff, and it's Christmas. Okay, Black Friday. Walmart's advertising that already. It's November. We're not even had Thanksgiving yet. They are trying to get you to spend all your money on gifts, toys, instead of you spending it on generators. If you got $500 for toys, you better have $100 for a generator. You better make sure you got a generator in that basket. You better make sure you got at least $100 worth of canned goods. Canned goods, 50 cents, 30 cents in some places. And you can't stock up on canned goods, you want to die. I'm just saying. You're getting ready to get your income tax. And some of y'all have saved up Christmas money for your toys. Get your baby one toy if you have to celebrate. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I'm just saying. I know some folks still do. Yes, Roberta, they do. White supremacy has been preparing for, yeah, and you know what? They prepare for generations. Your government, white supremacy, criminal tyrants, they prepare for generations. And they started when we put our children in school with them. They started there. And we saw how important it was for our children, Black children, to have their dads in the homes. And they stopped that too. Because they told women, you can't get this if you have your man in the house. But these foreigners coming over here can have the grandma, the husband, the cousins, the brothers, the grandpa and the grandma in the same house. And nothing said. But Black folk, they'll tell you, oh, you got to have Section 8. You can't have your man in the house. Lady, miss me with that. Miss me with all of it. Keep your Section 8. Me and my man going to work together and we're going to get a house. We're not going to get no apartment. We're going to get a house. I see a lot of apartments being built. But you can give me a $1,300. I can afford a $1,300 apartment. But you mean to tell me I can't go and purchase a $900 house? Come on, you guys. What's wrong with us? We work together. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work every time. We got to stop with all this craziness. Now is the time to prepare. You still have time. But we won't do it. God got me. That's disturbing when I hear a 50-year-old woman say that. God got me. All this time of looking at your history of white supremacy and how they operate with us. Even my thing is, Look at Texas. What happened in Texas summertime? This, what, a few months ago. Texas had a storm, didn't it? Something happened where the electric went off the grid. The electric went off in Texas. How many died? They weren't prepared. Why are we not learning from that? If it happened in Texas, it could happen other places. Oh, it ain't gonna happen here. Texas probably thought that too. And Texas don't supposed to get that cold, right? You had people they froze. What, that was last summer, right? Last winter. Texas froze. You had people freezing to death in their houses. Carbon monoxide, bringing a barbecue grill inside your house, starting your barbecue grill. Really? If you had a generator, you wouldn't have to bring the barbecue grill in. It's things that if you find out now and do your research now, you can use your oven. You can put stones and rocks in your oven and use your oven to keep you warm with no electric. I'm just saying, it's things and stuff that I've researched that I can use my oven. It's like a fire pit in my house without dying from carbon monoxide. You can get some rocks. I hope you got your stuff ready. You may even need some rocks. Leave them by your house. Leave them on the side because you can use that. And you can start a fire in your oven and use your oven to keep your house warm. Even if you don't have electric. But are we researching that? No. I want to talk more. Let me talk about this. Let's talk about this 72-year-old woman. That's what I started off with. That's my concern. You see the title today, right? Do you think our ancestors will be pleased with our behavior? I would be disgusted. I'm disgusted now, and I'm not an ancestor. I'm just saying. I'd be disgusted. Because we are dying and don't even have to. We are dying and don't even have to. Let me read this to you. Police officers in Annapolis, Maryland, reported a 72-year-old woman was found dead on Wednesday, November 3rd, on the 600 block of Bell Drive near the Annapolis Walk Community Center. In a press release issued by the Annapolis Police Department the following day, officers said that approximately 7:30 a.m., they responded to a 600 block of Bell Drive for the report of an unattended death. Preliminary investigation reveals the incident does not appear to be criminal in nature, the press release read. They're already saying it's suicide. But Black folk, we don't fight for nothing. We ought to be then rose up so long ago. We'll say, well, it wasn't my mama, so, well, it wasn't me. I'm doing good, so. But it could have been your mother. It could have been your brother. It could have been you. But you don't fight for nothing. So when it's your family, you want us to come and run and fight for you. But you don't want to fight for nobody else's family. Really? Okay. Carl Sweden, a longtime civil rights. Now listen to Carl. He was a longtime civil rights activist. Now I'm even questioning this right here. Okay. From Annapolis, posted on his Facebook Wednesday, November 3rd, that the deceased body belonged to an African-American woman, which Annapolis police have confirmed. Snowden tells Revolt that the woman was found hanging from a tree. He said he was able to identify the victim's race because he was on the scene as the police took her down. On Facebook, Snowden reported that Annapolis Ward 4 Alderwoman Sheila M. Finlayson was also on the scene. Don't forget, we just had a 16-year-old. Let me show you the 16-year-old. Now she was found hanging on the tree too. Okay, y'all know that, right? She was found hanging on a tree. You see the title? Okay, 16 years old. She had a fight because I think she was gay or whatever. She had a fight with some people, like a couple days before, right? And was found hanging on a tree. Okay, but you didn't arrest none of them. I'm just saying. Let me just keep reading. Whoo, boy, I can't take this. Okay. Backlash pertaining to the incident, Snowden revolt, will depend on the cause of death. People are waiting to see what the medical examiner determines. Now, that right there, I'm questioning about the medical examiner because medical examiners are on code, right? Okay. The cause of death is, and people will respond accordingly, he says. The victim's identity has not been released by the department as they await pending confirmation that the extended family has been notified. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I'm yawning. Excuse me, you guys. According to the Capital Gazette, several elementary school students on their way to Miss Mills' parole, Parole, elementary reported. Is that parole? I'm done. Elementary reported seeing the woman body outside on Bell Drive. Why is that school named that? See, people don't look at stuff like that. I look at everything. Why would I call is that parole for one? Parole. Parole, right? Right, Roberto and Isaac. Okay. Why is that school named sound like after a prison? Something. See, this is stuff that we allow to happen and we say nothing about. When they came up with the name and my children was going to school, we're not going to call the school that. Let's call it something else, like walking our purpose or our new reality. Let's call it something. Okay, because you already showing me where you're trying to send my children in the first place. So why would I call it that? Or why would I want you to call the school that? I'm just saying. While walking to the bus stop this morning, some students may have witnessed a tragic scene. It is weird, ain't it? So why? Now you have these children that was walking to school who saw this woman hanging on a tree. So what kind of help are you going to get them? Because they were impacted, right? But because they were probably Black children, they won't do anything about it. But if they were white children, we have, Dr. So-and-so is at the school waiting for the children to come to school. So we're going to have we're going to talk about what they've seen on the way to school, right? See, I think I look at everything. My mind just goes there automatically. When I said Miles, it's Mills/Parole Elementary. That's a school. That's what it's called. Why would you call us? If it was in a white neighborhood, would it be called that? Mills Parole School, elementary school? Okay. See, this is what I'm saying. We know stuff is fishy. But it's been fishy since 1963 when we came together with these devils, okay? Which we had no business doing in the first place. Because ever since then, we've been going down here, right? Every time you look around, and they only invited our children to their schools, but they didn't invite any of our teachers to teach their children, did they? They didn't bring on our Black teachers that had to. Where did our Black teachers go? That was in those Black schools that you chose to go to the white schools. Because they had basketballs over there. They had pools. Well, guess what? If you had to pay, you paying your taxes? You demand some things? We're going to talk about this because I've seen the laws that the UK has that America is violating. If I could pull them up, I'm going to pull them up. I was reading them and I lost them. And then we have another Black man found hanging from a tree in Palmdale, California. Look at him. I just want you to see our brothers. This is what's going on. And Black folk just as quiet. Tell me why. Okay. Involving the death of an adult individual, Richard Rogers and Casey Hunt, principals of Mills Parole Elementary in Annapolis Middle School. Now, I guess Annapolis Middle School is probably over there with the white folks, okay, in the white area. I'm just saying. Wrote in a letter to parents obtained by the Capital Gazette, okay? School officials within Anne Arundel County, okay, urged counselors at Mill Parole Elementary and Annapolis Middle School and Annapolis High School to discuss the situation with the students who were impacted by what they saw and to pay attention to their mental wellness, okay? Wow, this is a matter outside of school. Why is that a matter outside of school? It's not a matter outside of school. It's an incident that happened while your students were walking to school, but your children need help regardless, okay? So, I know that you join. I know that you join me in keeping those closely affected in your thoughts. Hunt wrote in the letter. Revolt has reached out to the Annapolis Police Department and will update this article with any response we receive. Now, the defense attorney in Ahmaud Arbery murder, he apologizes for the black pastor's remark. You know what? These white folk been so racist for their whole life. They got racism here in their heart. They just say stuff and they automatically don't even think about it because they've been racist for so long that even the dumb stuff to come out their mouth, they don't even have sense enough to know that they're an idiot. That it's an idiot. It's something stupid getting ready to come out your mouth. They don't even know that. They don't even care. Because they looking like, well, what I say? Somebody had to go to this man to explain to him, dummy, what you said about the black pastor's remark was dumb. You need to clean it up. Oh, was it dumb? What did I say that was dumb? Oh, I just said about the black pastors. This is just him talking back to the person told him what you said was dumb. Well, how was it dumb? Did you say that about the white folks pastors? Did you say that about their family? Oh, well, this is what I'm saying. Stupid is stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. And these folk been idiots since birth. And they're not going to ever change. And they think totally different than we do. You know that. Some of the stuff that they were saying in Kyle Rittenhouse's, well, he was defending himself. He shouldn't have had his ass out there in the first place. Tell me that. And why his mom wasn't arrested. Whoever drove him out there, somebody drove him because I read the report. And they said somebody drove him and I thought it was his mom. Okay. In the first original report, his mom drove him across the line. Know why she wasn't arrested? And the person that bought the gun for him, why he wasn't arrested? Because I'm going to tell you what. Legally, anybody, if I buy a gun or if I'm driving my car, somebody has drugs in my car, I'm liable, right? Am I correct? So why wasn't that person that bought the gun for Kyle Rittenhouse that he used to kill 2 people and shoot a third? Why was that person not arrested? And why was it? You feel me what I'm saying? So it's always, the rules always change when they white. Always change. If this had been a black boy, would he have been out of jail? Because Kyle Rittenhouse got out of jail 2 days after he killed people, right? $2 million. Who put up the $2 million? A church did. A church. Because he was defending himself. You see how they jacked up they think? Do you understand how jacked up they think? He wouldn't have had to defend himself if he wasn't out there, right? He'd be snug in his bed and wouldn't have been killing nobody. Those 2 people would have still been alive, right? But because he was out there defending property that don't even belong to you, why are you out there defending somebody's property who has probably insurance on that property, who's going to get paid if they burn it down? So miss me with that. Miss me with all of it. They always got a reason why it's okay to commit a crime and why it's okay for them to walk, but you better not try it because your black ass ain't gonna walk. I'm just saying. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. I don't know why I sound so angry because I'm tired. I hate what I'm seeing. I hate it so bad, you guys. Y'all just don't know. I want to talk about another thing. Let's talk about the part about MLK white people don't like to talk about. Because at the end, our brother was making some moves, okay? I believe he started out wrong, yes. But I believe in the midst of all of this, he at least tried to wake up and tried to do something different, right? But you got John Lewis, Elijah Cummings, Al and Jesse, the whole Black caucus being used by white supremacy. That's the sad part about it, our own. See Biden doing all of this crooked stuff. And because they're Democrats first and not Black first, it's okay. But how is it okay when you don't see no money being offered to yours and you Black? You don't say nothing to this racist man who's giving all of these foreigners that didn't even vote for the Democratic Party in the midterms. Did you see that? The Asians who we gave billions to, they voted Republican, right? And that's what the foreigners usually do. They vote for Republicans. But he was trying to buy their vote, right? So now you got Al Sharpton coming out at the court talking about Ahmaud Arbery. Well, he's acting like he's fighting for, whatever the man said about the racist, the pastors. So now he want to come out and dangle a carrot. But I'm going to tell you what, the Democrats going to dangle some more carrots because they know that Joe Biden has messed up their party. They know that black folk, if you got any sense, will never, ever, ever, ever vote Democrat again. I don't vote anyway. I'm just saying. But if I did, I wouldn't vote Democrat or Republican. I'd vote independent. But I do believe that we should be getting some people in line to be able to run that's going to make some changes for us. But I do believe that we need two sets. They need their own government and we need ours, because we need our own government. We need our own. But you can run locally in the mayor's office and get something locally done for your people. But you got to have some city councils to back you up. So if you're running for mayor and you got some black, city council members that's going to back you up, you can change some things in your atmosphere, in your country, in your county, in your city. Okay. You don't have to necessarily be president. You can change things locally. And I think more black people need to run for these black offices, and we can change things that way, because federally, then Democrats and Republicans got stuff so blocked up and locked up. And I think NFAC man, when he ran for president, he was trying to tell people how they got it backed up and blocked up, and you got to have all this 500. I think he said he spent like $500,000, almost $500,000 to for his campaign. He talks about it. NFAC man, Jay, he talks about that. How he ran for president and how they have stuff locked and blocked. I'm telling you, they got it so now that you don't really even vote for the person. I mean, they make us think that we're voting for them, but for real, we're not voting for anybody. They've already picked the next president. They know Joe Biden. They know they need him in there to do some things, to make some things, to pass some things that Trump wouldn't pass. So Trump probably won, but Joe Biden slipped in there because they appointed him, because it's that, what's that, the caucus that got he had most of the votes. What are those votes called? You got to have most of the it's a certain amount of votes that you have to have, and those are the people that determine who's going to win the race or not. The electoral votes, yes, the electoral votes, the people that has the most electoral votes, and then you also have another group of people that'll say yay or nay. Okay, if we want you in or if we don't want you in. So it's not that we really, they're not going to leave it up to the people, because they got some plans for the people, right? So why would we leave it up to the people to put the right people in? We got to put our people in that's going to fit our agenda, that's going to do what needs to be done in America, right? So my thing is, stop thinking that you are controlling anything, because you're not. And they're showing you even now. They're showing us we're not controlling nothing. I'm just saying. But I want to read one more story. And I just want to know, I see and I know that in the end, we are going to get reparations. And I'm going to tell you why. And I do believe that they're going to give it to us with great substance. I do believe, and I'm praying that because Joe Biden is doing so much dirt to Black people, I am hoping and praying that he will be made to make things right, because he's done the most dirt, the most damage to Black folk, right? With our families. He's ruined our families. He's done the most damage to Black people, right? I am hoping that he will be the one eventually. Now he's got 3 more years to go, right? That he makes amends, and he's going to be forced to make amends. I do believe that he's going to be forced to make amends, but why not him do it? Because he did the most harm to Black people. And sometimes when you do the most harm, you are made to do the right thing. And he's writing checks like crazy. You got $1 billion here, $1 billion here, but I don't want no billion, I want trillion. I'm just saying trillions, because we're worth trillions. And it's not just that we're going to sue America. You have to sue the Jews because they supplied the ships. Yeah, I have to understand. You got to sue the Catholic Church because the Pope agreed to it. You got to sue Africa, okay? Because they admitted to giving you away, right? We're not even, and people don't even understand. I'm not, okay, that's another story for another day, okay? If you understand, why Black folk in America and Africans don't get along. If you understood the Hamites and the Shemites, you'll understand why. We're not the same. Yes, we're both Black. Just like you have the Asians, right? You have the Japanese, the Chinese, and Philippines, and some more, okay? You got a lot of Asian people that look alike, but Japanese eyes go, somebody's eyes go like this, somebody's eyes go up, and some of them go down, right? Haven't you seen that? They're Asians, but they're not one group set of people, okay? You have Black folk, you have the Black Indians, right? That was here first. Then you have the Black, and I'm gonna go there, the Shemites. If you read your history, you have the Shemites and the Hamites. Shemites and Hamites are not even the same people, okay? So, and you look and say, why Africans don't like Black people? That's because we're not the same. Yes, Isaac. And I know a lot of people don't understand that. So you have to understand why the Africans, the Hamites, don't like the Shemites. And if you understood the history, you would understand why. We're not all African. We came from the same region, because all of that's Africa over there. But you have to understand, it's the southern part of Africa. But yes, it's all Africa, but it's a different tribe. It's Hamites and Shemites. And if you did your research, you'll understand what is really going on. So, no, this is why African Americans and Africans don't get along, because we're not of the same tribe. But everybody believes, they Black folks, and they all Africans. Yes, we came from the same region. And you have China, you have Tokyo, you have Japan. They all look Chinese, right? But they're different. They have different beliefs, right? They think different. They look different. And their eyes are different, okay? So they can tell apart. But we were not taught our history. So this is the problem that we're facing right now. So people look and say, why don't African Americans like Africans? It's not that we don't. We're not the same. We're cousins. We're not brothers and sisters. You understand what I'm saying? Am I making myself clear? That's another story for another day. I'm not going to go into deep. And I do believe that, Isaac. I do believe that wholeheartedly. This is what you're seeing now. And this is why you're going to see. And they know it. Do you think they don't know it? Honey, they know it. Trust and believe me, they know it. They know it. But Africa is going to pay. And the Chinese right now is getting ready to recolonize them. And they don't even they've not learned their history. They've not learned from the French and the Dutch and all of them other people that have been over there that have colonized them. And when they open the doors for Africa, you open the doors for a whole lot of other stuff. And the Chinese has literally come in and bought up Africa, or buying up Africa, the ports. Even with our ports, the Chinese own our ports. That's why those ships and those containers are still out there in the water, because the Chinese have not. And the Chinese has already declared World War III on the United States. And we Black folk, people, period, don't even understand that. And if you look and read your word, you'll understand that China is the one that's going to destroy America. That's another story. That's another story for another day. And people think, oh my God, America is this, that. America is nothing. America's done. America's done in the water. And this is why China is going to kick America's behind, especially when America reneges on paying that debt. And China is already coming at America. And China said, we might not be able to beat them war with guns, but I can beat them financially. And that's what China is getting ready to do. And that's why those ports, those little ships is supposed to be coming in with your food, China won't even let them come in. That's a story for another day. We're going to get on that one too. But I want to read this one about MLK and how really white folk didn't even like him. 75% of white folk when MLK was alive hated his guts. And the ones that's talking about him now their ancestors hated him. But guess what? We act like we love him, right? They act like, Martin Luther King, honey. Martin Luther King wasn't as soft as what y'all think, because he was getting ready to go get your money, go get your check. And that's why the government told him to kill himself. Your government told him that. But let's read a little bit. A lie cannot live. Martin Luther King Jr. He said a lie can't live. Okay. At least not forever. At the time of his death, Martin Luther King Jr. Was one of the most reviled men in the United States. Today, we remember him as the beloved Dr. King, and many of us refer to him as such. But as we read mainstream articles and hear reports and speeches about how far we've come. We ain't come nowhere. Why do they keep saying that we've come so far? Why do they keep saying it? Because what? Because we can live in the same neighborhoods, because we can go to their same disgusting schools, but they still treat you like crap. Police are still killing you. They was killing you in 1963. They're still doing it now. So what changes have been done? What really have we changed? Is what? We've been allowed to sit at the same restaurants, but some of these restaurants, you don't want to know what they're doing to your food back there, because you know you got some racist devils back there working in the kitchen, and you don't know what the hell they're doing to your food back there, but we still sitting up in their restaurants because they allow you to sit in their restaurants. But what have we changed? Structurally, what have we changed? Look at the prison system. What have we changed? Look at your schools. Look at your hospitals. You know what I mean? Black folk died from the sea that shouldn't have died, and they did it on purpose. And these nurses was coming on YouTube, Facebook, and talking about it, crying about it. They're killing these people. That's what they were saying. But this is what happens when you don't have your own hospitals. This is what happens when you depend on enemies for your water. You ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all better get y'all some water and food. You depending on enemies for everything. Are you out of your dang on mind? Depending on enemies to breathe their dirty air. They just did a test in New York. Y'all remember this? It was 2 weeks ago. They sprued out some dust or some gas or something and said, oh, it wasn't harmful. You believe them? Do you believe them? We'll never find out for a few more years. I'm just saying. We'll never find out what they really sprued in the air of New York. Remember Isaac 2 weeks ago? They just sprued some type of gas, right? We'll never understand right now what was in that gas. I believe it was something harmful, but we'll never know because nobody is investigating, because they said it's not harmful. I don't believe nothing come out of the media's mouth. I don't believe, because I'm going to tell you what, a whole lot of stuff that's happening in this country, it's another story to it, but you're getting the propaganda part of it that Fox wants to tell you. You're not getting the truth of news. So I don't even know why. My husband loves to watch news. Go ahead and watch it. I don't watch TV. He be in there watching news. I be doing some other stuff. I don't even want to hear what them crackers got to say, because I don't believe nothing that come out their mouth. And I do mean nothing. Every time they open their mouth, I'm looking at them like, you lying. You lying. I don't believe nothing come out their mouth. Prove it to me. If you tell me something, prove it to me, because you, other than that, you're lying. Let me finish reading. At the time of his death, hold on, let me see. No. Okay, no. But as we read mainstream articles and hear reports and speeches about how far we've come on this federal holiday, well, this is an older article, so y'all kind of bear with me. I just want you guys to, I just wanted to show you just a little bit of what the mindset is, okay? So it's going to have a little Trump stuff in here, but it's an older article, so just bear with me, okay? But you'll understand why I'm reading. It is important, okay, on this federal holiday honoring him, okay, it is important that we remember some of the most hateful things that have been said about Dr. King and what he stood for by leaders of and in this country. Black and white, then and now. Why? Many of the conditions that he marched, boycotted, and spoke out against still exist today. Racism, materialism, and militarism. Got it. We celebrate him now, even while condemning today's activists the same way Dr. King was condemned 60 years ago. NFAC, I think about him all the time. I love NFAC. I love the group. I love the J. I love the group. What happened to him? He didn't die. But they're doing what to him? The same thing they did to Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and some other freedom riders, right? They put him in, they're trying to put him in jail. Okay. You got one that was with that lady, Shakur. They have a man that was hanging out, that was with her, that's still in jail today. Still in jail today. For he didn't kill anybody. But I'm just saying, you understand, they use their system against us when we're going to speak out against their racist systems. Then they turn around and use their systems against us. Some regard him as too passive for his position on nonviolent actions. Others too radical for his stance against racism and oppression. Dr. King was widely disliked for his message of liberation for oppressed people in this country. The year he died, nearly 75% of American people disapproved of him, according to a 1968 poll. His contemporary Malcolm X said that ignorance of each other is what has made unity impossible. Did you hear that? Ignorance of each other is what has made unity impossible. For instance, that critical race theory, they don't want their children to know how evil they were and how bad they treated Black people. So they're going to yell, oh, critical race theory is bad. Oh my God, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. No, it's about your history. So if you telling us it's bad, it is, because it's about how nasty and how disgusting you treated Black people. And you don't want your children to know how hateful and how disgusting you are. So of course I can't let my children know that we sold their babies and we fed them to alligators. I can't let my babies know that we cut their stomachs open, and when a baby hit the ground, we stomped on the baby's head. I cannot let my children know that the little boys that we had sex with them, and we let everybody have sex with them, and the little girls, we raped them and they was having babies, and then we was using their babies as slaves, and then we allowed their babies to have babies by their same brother or mother or father. We're not going to let our children know that we slept with these Black women and we had their moms as wives, but we were still sneaking out and making babies with the slaves. We're not going to let their moms know. Come on now. This is what they don't want their children to know. We have to understand, critical race theory is not bad. It's talking about their history. Do your research. And when a Black man stood up and was caping with white folk and agreeing with white folk, that's all they needed. Oh my God, this Black man is always one that's going to speak up for us and take up for us and argue against their own. Oh boy, I tell you. Okay, but he said the ignorance of each other is what has made unity impossible. Therefore, we need enlightenment. We need more light about each other. We need more understanding about each other. Light creates understanding. Understanding creates love, and love creates patience, and patience creates unity. Once we have more knowledge about each other, we will stop condemning each other, and a united front will be brought about. And that's what America does not want. That's why they keep us coming against each other. That's why they divided the family, and they keep on dividing the family. Exactly. It's all about their history. They don't want their children to know their history. That's all critical race theory is. I did research on it. I did a show on that. And I listened to her and I said, what is this critical race? Because it was a big deal. It's coming up now. And they want to take all of remember, Trump just wrote a bill that anything that's pointing to hatred, quote unquote, they call hatred now. It's hatred. Critical race theory is hatred. But you did it. But anything condemning or that's being talked about slavery, and Trump wrote a bill. Now look this up. He wrote a bill that passed a law that about critical race theory. He didn't want to talk anything that's has to do with hate, but they're going to consider that hate because it's about what they did, right? And they don't want it out, so they're going to consider it hate. So that's why a lot of teachers can't teach it, because he considered it hate. He wrote a hate bill about critical race theory. He wrote a bill about it. And anything, he don't even want you touching the subject. Don't even want it. He don't even want it taught in the schools. Pulled it out to schools. Considered it hate. But then now they poured out some Black, what's the Black lady who wrote the books? They pulling her stuff too. Now she was, she loved her some white folk. What is that woman's name? Oh my God, I can't remember her name, but she got a lot of books out. Black. She got a lot of books. She was a feminist. What's her name? Right? A lot of her books, they're getting ready to pull them. But you have to understand, they don't even want slavery talk. They want you to forget your history. But they talk about the Holocaust 24/7. They don't tell the Jews to forget, do they? Because America didn't do it. It happened in Germany. So tell me why they're getting a check again. But something that happened here, like slavery, you need to move on, because look, you get over it. Get over what? When it's still happening? How do I get over something that's still happening today? Let's finish. Martin Luther King, along with the message, hold on, let me make sure. It's true, the sanitizing of Dr. Martin Luther King, which is what they did, along with the message of equality he was preaching, the uphill battle he was fighting, is doing more harm than good today. Right? Do you guys believe that? I believe it. It did more and it's doing more harm because Black folk, my first thing white folks say, well, Martin Luther King stood for what? Nonviolence, right? So Black folk, well, we have to forgive. You forgiving people that just blew your son's head off? You forgiving people that just took a shotgun and blew a hole in your son's chest when they didn't even ask for forgiveness? And then they still trying to do a trial and say, oh, we want it to be acquitted. So you don't want to pay for murdering my son? Let him out if you want to, is what I would say. If I was Arbery's mom, let him out. Go ahead and let him out. If I was Kyle Rittenhouse, the dude, if my son was Black and he shot my son, let him out. George Zimmerman, why is he still breathing? I don't condone violence at all, but I do condone you taking care and protecting your family and yourself at all costs. I believe in that. Let him out. All three of them, let them out. I understand the temptation. We are a country led by a racist, monogamous, bigoted bully. This country is ran by tyrants, okay? Tyranny, tyrants. Your whole government, Biden is tyrants, tyranny, creating a whole lot of tyranny in America. These tyrants is what I'm going to call them. It's the modern version, one of those white men spitting and shoving and kicking the civil rights activists of Dr. King's era. This is what I see this government as. And this is what she wrote. These are people who cringe at the thought of this and wish we could all just focus on the progress, the good of Dr. King and his message, the good of the civil rights movement, the good of today's movements that are demanding justice for Black men, women, and children killed by police, proclaiming that the Black Lives Matter, justice for women, okay? Coming all the other stuff, girls and women of the Me Too movement, all that stuff, okay? Justice for all of this crazy stuff. But they feel so uncomfortable with us even bringing it up. Black matters. The abuse that Black folks still go through today. They feel so uncomfortable, and the critical race theory makes them feel uncomfortable. So I want everything that's going to make me feel uncomfortable to go away. And that's why Trump wrote the laws condemning critical race theory, condemning anything that has to do with slavery. You guys know that, right? Y'all better keep your ears open because they want you to disappear. They want your history to disappear. But if we continue allowing them to teach our children, it will disappear because they don't even talk about it in school. But that's your fault, Black family. That's your fault, Black folk, because you're allowing your enemies to teach and educate your children. And you think they want us to keep talking about reparations? Because guess what? If I don't talk about it, it'll go away. If I don't talk about slavery, it'll go away. You'll forget your history, won't you? You'll forget I even owe you reparations. So let's take all of the Black material out of the schools. Let's put it in the books, but it's so far back in the book, they don't even touch it. And then we only talk about two, Malcolm X and Rosa Parks and Malcolm X. Do you not know we got so many more? Dr. Cloud Anderson, we got so many more. John Clark, Henry Clark. We have so many more that we should be talking about that we don't talk about. Because you know what? We don't teach our children Black history at home. We don't talk about grandma dead, so grandma, and we working so hard. We didn't even allow our children to sit up under grandma's at grandma's feet on Fridays to hear the stories anymore. We don't even allow our children to get the history lessons anymore, do we? Grandma tired. Oh, grandma, I don't want to hear that. Boy, if you don't sit down and listen to your history, you're not getting it in school. You're going to get it somewhere. But we don't even force our children to listen to grandma when she's talking about, man, I remember back in the day. Woo, it was scary. I remember back in the day. But now you got grandmas that was born in 1963 that don't even, we went through some stuff, but we don't have to stand, we did things different. Remember? We did things different because, we free now. We got food. We thought, we free. We get eating in the same restaurants as them. And ain't no telling what you eating. We going to the same bathrooms. We drinking out the same fountain. We able to live amongst them in the same neighborhood. Our children get to go to the same schools, right? But has anything changed, family? They came, we integrated with them, that they never integrated with us. We went to their schools. We went to their hospitals. We went to their everything. Did they come to your anything? Do they come to your, do they even, sometimes you'll see a white person help supporting a black business, but you don't see a whole lot of them. Now, when they got a white one that can do it, they don't come and spend money at your business when they got a white person over there doing the same thing that you're doing, right? They celebrate them. They support them. Now they'll support your little soul food every now and again. I'll see, we got a soul food around here, and I love, I'm there all the time, right? And I see white folk creeping in every now and again because white folk ain't making no soul food, and if they is, it ain't gonna taste like ours. So they'll support us when we making our little soul food. But a whole lot of our black businesses, they don't support, but we support theirs, though, don't we? And we won't even support our own. We get Black Friday and whatever coming up. You got people that have black businesses. Check them black businesses out before you go and spend your money at Walmart. I'm just saying. I don't understand, but we get there. I'm almost done, you guys. It's a problematic, romantic, and often white vision of. Listen to this. There's a problematic. Romantic and often white vision of Dr. King as the Moses who led his people to freedom. It's the discomfort of privilege and the resulting cognitive dissonance that makes folks avoid the pain and anger still brewing in oppressed communities. They cannot see how ineffective are their attempts at building bridges that are still burning. There's a saying in some black churches communities about folks like this. Everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. Everybody won't change, but we're not willing to die for that change. We want to see the police, the brutality stopped, right? But we don't want to do the work. We just think Congress is going to do the work for us. They're not. They've showed you that. They said, we're going to change it, but then qualified immunity stayed. That's what we need to get rid of, qualified immunity. With the police departments, they need to get rid of that qualified immunity. That's how they're getting off. Long as they have that qualified immunity, which Tim Scott and James Clyburn said, leave it in there. We can fix it later. Damn lie. You ain't going to fix nothing later. You're not even going to go there and try to fix it later. You're just trying to appease white people. And James Clyburn needs to come out of office for South Carolina family. If you got any South Carolinians in here, y'all need to get that Negro out of office. He's been in a long too. Why is it we leave people in office that's been there since 1900s? Why is it that we leave people in office that do nothing for you for so long? Put them in there, they'll do nothing, out. Put the next one in there. Oh, you're not going to do nothing either? Out. First, we're going to see who they hang around, who's following the money, who's backing them. If police is backing them, we're not even going to let you be in office. I'm just saying. Yes, we can. We always have done everything better than them. Did you guys see Colin Kaepernick? I finally get his name. Did you see his Netflix, right? Did you see that? I loved it. He's telling his truth. This is what that dude went through living with a white family. A lot of them don't even come out thinking like Kaepernick did. I'm just saying. A lot of them children that's mixed don't even come out thinking like him. They'll go ahead and marry the little white girl. Okay? They'll go head on and seeing stuff that's happening with them, happening to them, like when he went to get another ice cream, and oh shoot, I'm not trying to. Oh no, don't. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, I lost my place. Just like when he went up there and he tried to get another ice cream, and the woman said, "You just had one." He said, "Everybody had one." He was smart, right? He said, "Everybody had seconds, had one." And she said, "Well, you just had one." I'd have snatched out her hand anyway and said, "I'm gonna have another one." I'm just saying, that's me. That's how bold I was as a child. I'm just saying, I'd have snatched it out her hand and said, "And now I got another one, just like everybody else do. Thank you." And I'd have walked away and I'd have opened, started eating it. And did you see what his friend did? His friend looked at him because he told his friend, and he thought his friend was gonna go up there and fight for him. His friend said, "I ain't thinking about you. I'm going up here and give me thirds." Remember that? But this is what happened. But guess what? Somebody black, if the shoe had been on the other foot, somebody black would have been up there. "I'll go get you one, honey. You want one? I'll go get you one." And they would have went up there and got him one and bought it to him. But when it was the white dude, he said, "I ain't thinking about you. I'm going to get me thirds." Because Colin Kaepernick said, "Oh, it's okay, man. Don't even worry about it. I'll be okay." He said, "I ain't worried about you." He said, "I'm going up here to get me another one." But this is how they think. I mean, that story Colin Kaepernick told was so real. I've seen it. So real. How the black boys could come in there and couldn't make a noise, but the white boys was over there tussling and carrying on. You know what I'm saying? It's always been separate and not equal. It's never been separate and equal for us. It's always been unequal. No, I'm on doing the show. Okay. But let me finish. Let me keep reading. I'm doing the show. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Even Dr. King saw this tendency of white people. They didn't catch it yet. This is the third time they called me. I'm sorry, you guys. They probably won't call back again. Even Dr. King saw this tendency, Lord have mercy, of white people of too quickly and with too much relief declare success and head home smiling. In his famous letter from a Birmingham jail, he wrote, "First, I must confess that over the past few years, I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in this stride toward freedom is not the white citizens, listen, counselors, or the KKK clanners, but the white moderate, who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefer a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to the positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly say, 'I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct actions,' who I can't even say this word. It's okay, believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by the mythical concept of time, and who constantly advises the Negro to wait for the more convenient season. Never doing anything for you, but always want to tell you to wait. Wait. We're going to get there. Wait. Just like the reparations. Wait. They won't even talk about it now, right? Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. I don't believe Dr. King's intent was to make these folks feel bad. Hopefully it was. In fact, I'm sure he wasn't thinking about their feelings at all. I believe his point was to change them, to get out of their feelings and focus not on the good, but on the fight at hand, the threat to justice everywhere. This means confronting the questioning with courage and confidence, all the lies we've been told about the history of this country, even the lies about Dr. King's success. This means pulling back the veil on the atrocities committed by the forefathers, even Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. They're still committing atrocities. They're getting paid. Your Black Caucus, atrocities. They're not even doing what they were put in office to do. And they need to be voted out too. This means pulling back the veil on the atrocities committed by the forefathers and subsequent leaders of the country. The genocide, okay? Even the genocide that we're doing amongst ourselves right now. You have to understand, you guys, that, that with what's going on and what we see amongst Black people, or how our men now, and women, Black women, are marrying and dating and having babies by enemies. We don't even understand that we're genociding. I don't think we care that we're genociding our own. We are so selfish with our own wanting to have a baby that look, okay? Wanting to have a baby with this white man or this white woman so that they won't be treated, but not understanding that they're going to be treated bad regardless, because when you have babies that look mixed in between, the Blacks don't want them and the whites don't want them. The Blacks be, feeling some kind of way, and the white folks feeling some kind of way. So they got to come amongst themselves, but they still feel like they're trash. They still feel rejected. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that, even with Martin Luther King, I don't think that he thought out the whole process of integration and, of us coming together with enemies, of us moving in their same neighborhoods, or us going to school with them. I don't think, and even now today, because I seen like a 13-year-old that committed suicide. She was going into a white school and was living in the white neighborhood. Her mama think, because we moving on up, we got to move in all white neighborhood. I don't believe that. I don't believe in moving in all white nothing. I believe that my children, needed to be around both to get to understand and see how to deal with them. You understand? Because while they was coming home telling me, mommy, so-and-so, I'm educating them on how them crackers was. Let me tell you what you're dealing with there. I didn't want them to be around all Black, but I didn't want them to be around all white either, because I needed them to understand how to deal with these crackers, because you're going to be working around them. You're going to be doing business with them. You're going to be having every day, you're going to be coming around them every day. So you have to know how they think. You have to know what they're saying when they say blue lives matter. When you say Black lives matter and they say, oh, blue lives matter, you have to understand what they're really saying. Okay. I needed my kids to understand what they were saying when they weren't speaking out of their mouth. The code words, I needed them to understand that. You understand? Okay. This meaning pulling back the veil on the atrocities. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm way down. No. Hold on. Okay. This means not just apologizing for slavery, but doing something to repair the harm caused by it that persists to this day. Dr. King understood political activists, the North Carolina NAACP leader, the Reverend Dr. William Barber, points out in a recent article, who I think is coon. I think that William Barber is a coon. That whenever we compromise with a lie about who people are, we empower the political forces that have exploited our nation's divisions to cling to power. Hence the talking about the presidency, how people are and how they, think and stuff. If we want this country to be great for the first time ever, and to live up to the racial justice work of Dr. King and so many others, we can start by telling the truth. And here's the truth. Dr. King worked is not done. Those of us who continue to press forward for the liberation of our oppression, celebrate him in the work we do daily. We have to see, white folk never liked King. Never. And I'm going to ask the question again. Do you think our ancestors would be pleased with our behavior, what they're seeing today? Do we really think that they will be pleased? You voting for white supremacy? They say, oh, they died for us to vote. No, they died for us to be free. They didn't die for us to vote for white supremacy. That makes no sense when when I hear black people say that. They did not die for you to just to vote for anybody, especially you voted for a man that devastated your community and you voted for him and gave him the highest seat. How does that make sense? And you went against a person that was trying to tell you, ask for something first. And you told that black man that you was going to boycott him because you didn't want to hear what he had to say, which was talking truth. Ask for something. Ask Biden for something. We don't ask after he gets in the house. Do you pay people to paint your house and you don't tell them what you need painted? You don't talk to them about the painting. You don't talk to them about what I want painted. You don't talk to them about what color I want my house painted. Just paint and I'm going to pay you money here. You gave this creep the highest seat without making no demands. And you saw the 50 years that creep been in office, how he treated black people. You know what one of my friends told me? Oh, that was before. That was then. That was back in the, that was 20 years ago. I said, but what has he done even now to fix it? What reparations did he do? What did he do to fix what he harmed? To fix what he broke? Has he been in it? He's been in office 50 years and Biden has not ever made amends. No apologies to what he said about his kids. He didn't want his kids going to school with wild animals or his mom walking the streets with wild animals. Yes, he understood that they did it, but he said, I don't care who did it. I don't want my parents or my kids walking and going to school with wild animals. And knowing that America created the wild animals. He knew it. He said, I know we created it, but I don't want my kids going to school with it. I want to put them behind bars. And that's exactly what he did. And you guys were okay with it. But you told me, oh, that was before. But he did nothing to fix the problem, did nothing to show you that he deserved your vote. He did nothing to show you that I've changed. He did nothing to show you that you know what? I want to make amends. Let me do this, and this for black people. When he got in office, that you gave him the highest seat, he said, oh, I know black folk did it for me. He said, I'm going to never forget you, didn't he? He's a lying crabhead. I don't know what else to call him right now. I won't call him something else. He's a liar. Biden has always been a liar. Everything he promised black folk, he ain't done none of it yet. He said, I'll never forget you. You're right, he never will, and he never has. And that's why he's always devastated our communities. Has he not? Every law, every time he come up with something, every piece of money he gets somebody else, he get him money. What? The people he said he'll never forget. How much money you didn't got from him? Any? But Tamika Mallory told you, oh, he wrote some laws. She's a lying creep too. Oh, he gave you some, but you got to apply for it with the rest of them. No, did he do anything just for black people? But Kamala Harris told y'all that, and y'all dummies still voted. This is what I don't understand. So do you think our ancestors would be pleased with our behavior? Yes, Isaac. Every time he opened his mouth, he finna lie. And I just look, but black folks suck those lies up every time. Biden is the biggest liar. Everything he said, he reneged on everything. But guess what? I hope that he slapped the hell out of us so bad that the Democratic Party will be torn down forever from black folk ever participating in it. From this day forth. I hope he keeps slapping the hell out you. Just slap. Every chance you get, slap. You got to slap. He is the one to slap some sense into black folk head. Because you ain't listening to nobody else. You got black folk telling you, don't do it. Boyce Watkins told you, don't do it. Jason Black told you, don't do it. I believe that's an agent too, but that's another story. Okay, that's a story for another day. Professor Truth told you, don't do it. Diggy Dillon tell you, don't do it. Right? All these YouTubers tell you, don't do it. Roland Martin say what? Do it. But Roland Martin is not, he does not understand what us real black folk, okay? He's not a Shemite. He doesn't have an idea. Well, yeah, he is. I think Roland Martin, he came from Haiti, so he is a Shemite. But he didn't understand what the black folk went through, what we go through every day, what we've gone through. Because he wasn't born here. That's the difference when you're born here and you've gone through and you've seen the history. That's a difference. But he'll tell you to vote Democrat for people that don't do nothing for you. But this is what I'm trying to help you understand. We've got to get to a place where if you're not doing nothing for us, guess what? You're not getting our vote. And we're going to start running for some of these local offices, like city council and your mayor office, right? And you're going to make some changes in your own cities. So I don't really believe that we have to vote. I don't believe it. Put your money behind somebody. Whoever's running, we got some money. This is what I need for you to do. So it's not about us voting. It's about us putting the money in the game. And we do have money. Black folk got money for anything and everything they want to do. We can do it. But we have to, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, we vote as a block, right? Remember, she said his work wasn't done. It's not. We got missing women and children that need our help. We got women now, 72-year-old women that are being lynched on trees, and 10-year-old babies being lynched on trees. You heard about the 10-year-old boy, right? That was lynched on a tree. You heard about that, right? We have work to be done. What are we going to do about our babies being missing? What are we going to do about these women being missing? What are we going to do about these lynchings that's happening quite frequently now? They didn't pass the no lynching law in 2021. They still debating over a freaking lynching law. Are you serious? The ones that can get out of America, get out. I still say that. I'm still getting my ducks in a row. You better believe I'm putting them. I'm trying, boy. Y'all just don't know. I'm supposed to be gone by now. I have my mind on being gone by now. If you can leave, leave. And I know he's told some of you guys to leave. I hope you're putting your ducks in a row and you get out. Because I'm going to tell you what, 2022 is not going to be a joke for Black people. And we're getting a little taste of it now. You ain't going to tell me that if Kyle Rittenhouse was Black, that he'd be getting the same treatment. His ass would be under the jail. Ain't no self-defense when it comes to Black folk and guns. Ain't no self-defense. Like the guy that shot the guy in Florida, self-defense. He said, stand your ground. The Black guy couldn't use that, could he? But the white guy could, didn't he? It's going to be real dark in the year 2022 for us here in America. If you can move to, I don't care, anywhere but America. Anywhere but America. You better go. I'm not even talking. You want to go to Africa, go to Africa, Tanzania, Gambia. I got my land waiting on me. I'm just saying. And they doing some building. Blackson was just talking about it. They're doing some building now. They're doing some building now in Gambia. So you want office space? You can get a little office space in Gambia and get some things started. We better, Isaac. We better get out now, especially if you're not saving up. You're not storing up water. You're not storing up your silver. You're not storing up your canned goods. You're not storing up anything. You just, God will provide. You're going to be in trouble. So do you think our ancestors would be pleased with our behavior? No. We've sold them out. Thanks to Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. These are people that's being paid by white supremacy to ignore, to be docile, not to even ask for anything for Black people. They're being paid good money. The Black Caucus is being paid good money to ignore their own. But it's always seemed they've always been able to pay back Black people to harm their own. It's always there. They've always been allowed, and they know how to do it. It's always one. They'll pay Black people to hurt Black people. They'll pay them good money to ignore your own conditions. You got Democrats that's over cities that look like poop. Black people, Elijah Cummings, John Lewis was over Black cities that looked like Dookie. And when Trump said it was a shithole country, it looked like a shithole, their neighborhoods, they got mad. He said it was crime-ridden, rats everywhere. And was it not true? Baltimore, when Trump talked about Baltimore, was it not true? Black folks got upset because a white man said it. But it was true. Why would you get upset because a white man said it? When you got a black guy that's sitting there, Elijah Cummings. I remember that Elijah Cummings was over Baltimore, right? And it looked like Dookie. Crime, rats. It was just torn down. It was disgusting. He did absolutely nothing for his own people. And yelled about that freaking border when he went down to the border and seen them children at the border. He yelled at his people about that border, but you didn't yell. But you didn't even visit Baltimore, your own city that you was running. You was supposed to be Congress over or whatever. But you never once said anything. You never once did anything to help your own. Boy, I'm done. I do believe that Black people that's supposed to have positions that are in charge and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, their children's children will pay. I believe to the third and fourth generation, they will pay because they had a position and opportunity to help their own and they didn't. Somebody got to pay for that sin. That's a sin. That's sinful. That's sinful. If you absolutely see your people suffering and you do nothing. Benign neglect is what Dr. Claude Anderson called it, right? Benign neglect, ignore your own. Benign neglect. I'm just saying. I didn't want to stay. You know, I don't like staying on here too long. It's been an hour and 31 minutes. That's enough for me. It doesn't take a whole long time for us to say what we need to say and be done. But I hope you're thinking about, I hope and pray. I'm going to put in the comments, I'm going to put where you can order your Patriot. I'm going to put some other things in the chat. I hope and pray that you are being prepared, getting prepared. Hope you got your water. Up here, we have cases of water for $1.69. Y'all niggas better go stack up. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all better stack up. You feel me? Stack up. Because right now, this is serious. And y'all gonna be some hungry. You're not gonna make it if you've not started stacking up. Thank you, Isaac. Like and share it as you guys come in. Even the ones that don't do the live with me, you come in here and you watch the live or you watch the show later, like and share. Because I think this is an important message. And maybe maybe what I'm saying is not even important. I'm just saying my show should be packed. And I understand why it's not. A lot of people are not ready for this truth. And I do understand that. But guess what? You will be ready for it. Because when you get to next year and you see the poop that's about to hit the fan, you're going to be looking for some answers. You're going to be looking for, why is it like this? What happened? Why are we in this predicament? Pull up some of my old tapes. Pull up the old YouTube channel. Pull it up. And you'll understand why. While you were so busy twerking and doing other things, other people were preparing. And you'll get to heaven. And remember the man that was in the flood and he was, everybody was passing by asking him, you want to ride? You want to ride? And he said, no. He died. Got to heaven and said, what happened? Why you didn't send me no help? He said, I did, dummy. Sent you 5 things. I sent you a boat. Sent you a plane. I sent you this, that, and the other. And you passed up all of them. And that's what we're doing now. We're passing up our help. We're passing up the hand. We're passing up the information. Because God will make a way. He's making a way now. I hope you're hearing it. And don't wait till the last minute to get it together, family. We're going to need each other. We are going to need each other like never before. I hope you're making friends with Black neighbors that you got. I'm just saying. We so busy thinking that we didn't made it. But we're getting ready to find out if you made it or not. You're getting ready to find out. I hope now you're building with other Black people in your neighborhood. Because we can't do this by ourselves. We cannot do this by ourselves. We're going to need each other to survive. We're getting ready to learn how to come together as Black folk. Watching, I guarantee you, this year, you're going to see Black folk come together like you ain't never seen us come together before. You ain't never seen it. You're getting ready to see it. With that said, family, we're going to go. Have a good rest of your day. Stay tuned for next Wednesday at 12:30. I'll be back. I hope 12:30 is a good time for you guys. I try to come on during the midday, At night I'd be so tired. I was like, let's do this earlier. I hope and pray that you have learned something. You heard something that's going to help you for the future. And I hope you're doing the work. With that said, peace, family, and enjoy the rest of your day.